Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Georgiana with Expressions Craft Studio, and we're going to play with some scraps today. So I got out some stuff from my bin from previous card attempts, Christmas cards, as well as some of the snow globe pieces that I had cut. And I think I selected about 6, just because that's how many circles I'm going to get out of my dies. And what I'm going to do is I've used a couple of dies um, so that I could frame these circles. Let me see if I can explain that a little better. So I took 2 dies and I just kind of spaced them where I thought they were evenly spaced. And I made this center one a little bit smaller than actually I think maybe, let me try this. If I do it this way, maybe you can see a little bit better. So I made this circle just a little bit smaller than the overall original die cut, so that it would show up nicely behind here. So, and there's some stitching on this one and the scalloped edges, so I thought it was really cute. And then I'm going to take that and put it on some of these backgrounds. Actually, that's the wrong pile. Let's put this stuff all out of the way. So I've just got a variety of backgrounds here. This one's got the Christmas ornaments on it. We've got some snowflakes. Whoops, let's see. Snowflakes. It's a different snowflake pattern. And then there's this sweater. I love this sweater one. And then I just reused the snowflakes. And to me, this kind of looks like, well, swirling snow. So I'm going to use those. And then I just picked out some circles that I've already cut out. And then I went back to my ribbon that's several years old. And I think what we'll do is we'll wrap each one of these kind of like a present. So we'll go down and then we'll go up so it'll look like a gift. And it's all curled up, so it's going to have to be glued down. But then I'll lay this kind of over that, and then we'll have room for a sentiment up there. But they're very plain and simple. It's kind of white on white with some blue. Nothing too difficult or anything. And that's what we're going to work on. So I'm going to go finish cutting these out. I took one sheet of my 8.5 by 11 pearl paper, and I cut out one, and then I'll just cut out. I can get one more, so I can get 2 total out of each one of these strips. And maybe if I'd cut them the other way instead of landscape, maybe if I'd cut them portrait, I don't know. Anyway, it's done. So anyway, I'll get 2 out of each strip, and then I'll have a nice scrap piece at the bottom that I can save for sentiments or something else. So I'm going to finish cutting those out, and I will be right back. All right, so I finished cutting out my frames, and I could have just used the whole piece and without that inner circle, and then just laid it on top, but I kind of wanted this to be underneath. I want it to look like it's framed. So I am going to save these 6 circles because this is a nice cardstock and they'll make a nice background for something. So I'm going to set those aside. And we've got our 6 frames here. Whoops. Set my dies aside. And I'm just going to quickly trim out, save this ends of this pearl cardstock so that I can use it for something later. And I mean, I could cut little butterflies or something out of there, but I just don't feel like I want to. Although it would make nice snowflakes. You know what? I'm always need snowflakes, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut some out of here. That might be too small, but we'll see. It wasn't my intention to do this, but rather than waste that, I do have some nice tiny snowflakes. So, quick trim. Done with this. A couple of these may be too small for the snowflakes, but we're going to try. So this is all scrap. Trash can a little bit closer to me. Alright, so let's lay all this stuff up here. So I think what I'll do is I'll start by putting my ribbon on my cardstock, on my embossed backgrounds. And I was debating if I should use a blue ink and kind of brush around the edges just to make it stand out a little bit. But I think I will, so let me just grab that really quick. Alright, so I was debating between my darker blue or the next lighter version, and I think I'll go with this next lighter one. Let's put that over. And let's just start with just edging it a little bit. May not be dark enough. My reason for doing this, which is completely optional, is just so that it lifts itself up off the card base a little bit so that it doesn't look so flat. And I'm using blue because my ribbon's blue, but honestly you could use any color you like. So now let's see if that makes a difference. Oh yeah, see, I think that helps. Now, is it dark enough to go with this? I think it's alright. Alright, so let's finish edging these. Probably would be easier with a thicker cardstock. This is an index weight. It's just some I bought accidentally that I've been trying to use up. So it's a little, oh, it's a little thin. I just ripped my, I think it'll glue down all right. It's a little thin because it's literally index weight. And I did not realize that when I bought it. But it is a nice lightweight, so it doesn't add a lot of bulk to the cards. If you're mailing them, that that can add up. So this way might be a little faster. doesn't give it a softest edge on it. It's more defined. So I'm going to go back to doing this, and I'll come back when I've got them finished. Alright, I finished inking, and I think what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and put on our ribbon. So, get it off about there. Grab it real quick. Just to help me get a straight line. Very well. I guess that's probably because it's embossed, so that. On the back, glue or tape. Here. Finish it on the back. I left that a little bit longer than but I want to make sure it doesn't hold. Alright, so there's that. I've been in here in probably a week because I've just kind of lost my mojo. Does that ever happen to you guys? You just kind of get in a funk and find it hard to get back at it? It happens to me. Should have grabbed my bone folder and I didn't. It's kind of dried up in the nozzle. Anyway, I've just kind of been in a funk. I'm battling fatigue for some reason. I'm sleeping well enough, but just really tired. That makes it hard, at least for me, to get motivated. My brain doesn't feel like it wants to work or that it gets in a fog. Alright, so I'm just going to center this up over it's not heavy enough, but that's kind of cute. sentiment, but I kind of like it. And by the time we put it on a card base, there we go. Yeah, simple yet cute, really cute. All right, so I'm going to finish up putting my ribbon down and the rest of my pictures in my borders or frames, and then we'll attach them to the card fronts, and then we'll pick out some sentiments. All right, well, I went ahead and finished gluing everything down, got the fronts done, and I attached them to the cards and got my stickers on the back. So we'll do a quick little run through here to show you what we did. I did end up cutting a couple extra ribbons to fit, so I might go ahead and make one more if I can find a scrap piece of the pearl that's big enough to cut out another one of those. And I do need to put still a sentiment on the inside and something on the outside, but I will do that later. I'm thinking this one will be something like Baby It's Cold Outside, since it's a sweater kind of pattern, like a cable knit kind of pattern. I thought that would be cute on that one, but the rest of them, I have no idea. So there you go, 6 more for the week. I think it's week 18. I don't know. I'll come back and I'll hopefully have more information when I finish these up. So give me a minute. Well, to you it'll be a second, but to me it's probably going to be a day until then. All right, so yesterday we finished these 6 cards. I've back today to add to it because I had mentioned that I had a couple extra pieces of ribbon that were already pre-cut, and I didn't want them to get lost and then forget why I'd pre-cut them, why they were not sized. So I cut this fella out, and I didn't even look for a piece of white cardstock because I realized I had this sitting right next to me. And this is some Christmas wrapping paper. And I had said a couple times that I was going to do a video on how I do this. And I did the video. The video was terrible. The sound was terrible. The only sound it picked up was the crinkling of the paper, which was really loud and obnoxious. And I tried to fix it. I'm not going to post it. But anyway, I'll tell you real quick how I did it. And if anybody's really curious, I'll try to do the video again because it's really kind of a cool way to, add to your cardstock. So what I do is I start with the thin piece of cardstock that I've talked about. It's an index weight. You really could use any weight you want, to be honest with you. But I like this because I have it already. It's thin. It's not, so I just use it a lot. So basically, I run this through my Xyron machine. It's a sticker maker. Mine's the Anna Griffith model, but it'll take an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And what it does is it applies double-sided tape, basically, to whatever you run through there. So if you were taking something that was already designed, basically, you'd want to run that through face up, because otherwise you get the sticky stuff all over the design that you're trying to make the sticker out of. But anyway, that's neither here nor there for this video. What it does is it'll take one side of whatever the cardstock that you run through, and it will lay double-sided tape down across the whole sheet. And then you take that piece out, and once you peel it off, you have a sticky surface on your one side of your cardstock. And I just cut out sheets of my old wrapping paper and turn those into sheets of cardstock. And I have a lot of these metallics. My mom really liked the older style, the stuff that we had back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, which is fine. Everybody's taste is different. I like some bling. So anyway, that's what I did, and that's how I came up with this guy. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll try to redo the video on it, because I've been working on my setup here a little bit, and I think I've managed to make it a little bit better. In the meantime, what we ended up with was 7 cards for week 18. I was actually right about that. It's week 18. And these cards are for the Angel Card Project, which is primarily does Christmas cards during Christmas season, but they do cards throughout the year. They have requests for cards throughout the year for other reasons, um, and also cards for soldiers. And they also take requests throughout the year. Well, they don't take requests. You just send in cards, and they send them to the soldiers, who then fill them out and send them back to their loved ones. Their only stipulation that I'm aware of, well, actually, they have several rules, and you should check out their website, but sparkly stuff that might rub off on their uniforms and make them a target is prohibited. And they do have a few other requirements, but really worthwhile project. And I will link both of those Facebook groups below if you're interested. So these are essentially are done. I need to put a sentiment. I may put one on the front, I may not. I will definitely put one on the inside. Stickers and labels are already on the back, so these are good to go. This means we're adding 7 cards. Let's see, for week 18. Let's see, we had 136, so 11. There's 10, so 146, 157. So that'll be 157 cards so far, if my math is correct. So there you have it. Thanks for joining me. I feel like I've got my mojo back a little bit. I was kind of dealing with some strange fatigue that I can't explain. But after being in here yesterday, I've got the spirit again. So hopefully they'll be back a little bit more often, and hopefully the videos will get better. Like I said, I know they're bad. Thanks for bearing with me. And until next week, this is Georgiana with Expressions Craft Studio. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear what you have to say, good or bad. I'm open to feedback, and I would really appreciate a like and a thumbs up. So thank you so much, and happy crafting.